on.
Reyes.
Kuzma's been cleared to
nailed that
play. He's back in the starting lineup for the Lakers at MSG. Take your shot is next.
That was nasty.
Pretty good, Brad.
Brad's rage. Rage, Brad.
That's good, man. Keep it simple. Yeah.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Find great ways to save on a bold new Camry at the We Make It Easy sales event.
Hi, honey.
Before the Lakers and Knicks tip-off, here's what you need to know. The Lakers scored one of the biggest wins of the season Saturday in Brooklyn. Down 5 key players, the Lakers were in control of the game all night long. Despite a questionable ejection to Dennis Schroeder in the third quarter, the Lakers outscored the Nets 65-43 in the second half. Schroeder calling it their best win of the year. Lakers are currently 3-2 on their 7-game road trip with only 2 left to play, with wins against the Kings, Raptors, and Nets, and losses against the Clippers and the Heat. On the season, the team is 17-9 on the road. That's the most road wins in the entire NBA. Overall, the Lakers are 33-20, which puts them at 5th in the Western Conference. On the other side, we have the Knicks, who currently have the 8th best record in the East at 27-27. In their last 7 seasons, the Knicks have not finished better than 11th. The Knicks pride themselves on their defense, holding opponents to just over 104 points a game, which is number 1 in the league. The Lakers, guess what? Right behind them, number 2. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. As we just mentioned, Kyle Kuzma is back after dealing with that calf strain over the last 2. He goes into the starting lineup, joining Dennis, KCP, Keith, and the big fella, Andre Drummond. Guys, a little update as well. Along with Kuz, who is back, Marc Gasol and Wes Matthews are available. They were game time decisions, but they are available. The only guys out, AD, Bron, and Duds. Rob, we're working on something for you. We've been working on something for you. You ready for it?
Do I
Better
have a
say
choice?
yes. You're going to be really excited. It's your guy, Trez.
Yeah.
Yeah! Hey! About time, man! Hold on, I got too much in the trunk, man. Y'all gotta light
knew
my
that was
load.
coming. I knew
Hey,
it.
roll that again. I think I gotta make a pit stop and dump some people out.
What?
Hey, this is
I
my.
thought it was great
They
that you
rolled
popped
that in and rolled it out real quick, Rob.
Look, hey.
Share your moment.
Oh, it's too many people in the back, man.
Who's going out? Who's going out?
Who you think? You two. Shit. You two are going out.
What did you do?
Did you just see me
Big
rage?
game.
Because he's on the bus and you on the private jet with Bron.
No, I have my own truck. It's called the Mac truck, and it's going to eat the Trez truck if you ever make a comment like that again.
It
Then I
sound
have
like
to
they
be
were
dumped
saying-
out. Take your shot.
It sounded like they were saying, home James, and I wasn't even driving.
It's Rocky Myers, Southern California. Toyota dealers. You'll eat chicken liquor that you think will impact this game and tell us how. Big game. Get the show back on the road. Who do you got? Dennis Schroeder.
Rob, that was funny. Yeah, man. Shooter, man. I tell you what, he reminds me of a little bit like Dennis Rodman. He's an irritator. He irritated Kyrie Irving the other night, and I think he'll do the same with that pressure.
Rob.
I got to go with Twin. I got to go with Keith Morris. Just because he's just been solid, man. He doesn't complain. He just plays hard for the team and does what's necessary.
Brez.
Yeah, Geeter already claimed him as his best friend ever, so I'll just have to pump him up here and take your shot. Another big game coming up for him. Double.
You in on this, Allie?
I'm going with AJ Ponsiglione. Will you please send Rob back on
Put the
vacation?
truck. Put the truck back on. Let me see the truck. Come on now.
It's game time. And then
Come on. Who did
For
the
that,
graphics
Put
with
the
that? We
truck
need to have
Billy
back
Mack.
up there.
Stu, take it away.
Miss Davis.
Let's go. You are looking at Lady Liberty, and we are in Manhattan for the Lakers and the Knicks, live from Madison Square Garden. Spectrum Sportsnet proudly presents the NBA. Tonight, it's New York versus Los Angeles. And hello, everybody, and welcome. Well, what a game the other day. Who would have thought that that was going to happen? And it was truly, maybe, the best game of the year in so many ways, Stu Lance.
Maybe?
Yeah,
no doubt
the
about
best
it.
game.
Everything considered, that was by far the Lakers' best game of the year. They did a remarkable job against a high-powered offensive team in the Nets.
And the new guys were really good. And we'll start with Andre Drummond, who was really a bully down low for the Lakers that entire afternoon.
Well, if you can get away with bully ball in this era of three-point games, good, because the Lakers really worked on the inside. And as you said, he was overpowering against the Nets. 20 points and 11 boards in only 22 minutes. That's the big thing. He didn't play the whole night, and he had some help, a lot of help, but mainly from Dennis Schroeder. What a first half Dennis enjoyed. 19 points on 7 out of 11, made 3 out of 4 from behind the arc. And I said, what a first half, because he only played 20 minutes before getting an early exit to the shower. So the Lakers had a lot of people that they can point fingers at that played well.
You know, I mentioned the other newcomer, Ben McLemore, B-Mac. What a game. Hitting all those threes towards the end. 4 threes in the fourth quarter. We'll see a lot of him tonight. New York. For once, they've got real hope right now in the city with this Knicks team. They are at 500, as late as they've been in the season in about 7 or 8 years. And one of the reasons is the former Laker, Julius Randle.
Julius Randle was putting up quite a season. I mean, he is having a remarkable year. His numbers speak for themselves. All career highs, averaging 23 points, 11 boards, 6%. But the one that stands out to me is what he's shooting from three-point land.
Yeah.
He's shooting 40% from behind the arc, and he was one of the guys that really did bully ball. Then they've got another youngster. We talk about the Lakers having their 20-year-old. Well, R.J. Barrett's only about 20 years old himself. Now, what a year he's averaging. 18 and 6 and shoots 45%. They've got themselves a good basketball team. Their record doesn't indicate it, but they play hard.
It's going to be a fun game because the Knicks are right in the mix in the Eastern Conference playoff hunt, and the Lakers coming off of their best game of the season. Madison Square Garden after this.
From DeRozan, finds the cutter and Drummond. Good feed by Lowe.
Catching basket, move, fast ball watching.
You want to show and recover, but you have to have your teammates back.
Drummond straight away. He finds the cutter. Still on the Doma, who gets fouled.
Faster with NetSpend.
Today's Fighting Spirit fan of the game is Justin from SoCal, presented by Modelo. And it's Laker gear. Congratulations to you, Justin. Hello again, alongside James Worthy, Robert Ory, I'm Allie Clifton. Lakers and Knicks coming up here in just a few minutes as we go a little inside access and take a closer look at former Laker Julius Randle, guys. He's leading the Knicks in scoring, averaging 23 a game, but also worth noting is his improved play as a passer and shooter. 11 boards, 6 dimes, 40% from deep. They are all career highs.
I'm extremely happy for this guy. I'm happy for him, James. I know you are too.
That's my pick, number 7. I went to New York and got him.
He is showing out. We'll be back here at halftime after the break. Back to Bill and Stu for tip-off.
Hunger. It lets you know you're you're happy.
Well, no skyline like it in the world. New York City, Manhattan, and here we go, Madison Square Garden. The 27-27 Knicks against your 33-20 Lakers. Let's get to the Spectrum starting lineups, and all of a sudden, just about everybody's available, except for, of course, Bron AD and Alfonso McKinney, but the rest are back and available tonight, which means Kuz is in the starting lineup after missing a game. Here are the New York Knicks, and Nerlens Noel is in the middle. Elfrid Payton, he and Quickly, of course, will make up the backcourt. They'll have a little a substitution pattern going there, and Reggie Bullock joins Julius in the front court. Lexus keys to the game, and Stu.
Well, you know what my number one key is. It's going to be that way for the rest of the year. Make at least 10 3-pointers. They have been shooting it well from behind the arc. And then contain Julius Randle. I mean, he's having himself a sensational year. Keep him off the line and keep him in check, and then feed the big fella. Play inside out a little bit like they did. Play some bully ball with Drummond.
Yeah, hey, now the big fella, Mike Trudell, made a huge impression, obviously, in the last game. But I know you want to talk about the now new consistency and the fine play of the Lakers backcourt.
That's right. Dennis Schroeder and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope have both been really good offensively from a scoring standpoint these last couple games. And Stu just mentioned the three-point shooting. Well, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is hot. He's hit 10 in his last two, right? 6 for 11 at Miami, 4 for 6 at Brooklyn. And you can see there the last 3 games, they're really starting to get it done, including from the efficiency standpoint. And that's something that Frank Vogel needs, right? With LeBron James and Anthony Davis out, they don't have that primary option that can draw the double team consistently. So he needs the starting backcourt to pick up the scoring. And Sue, you mentioned this a little bit earlier. Dennis Schroeder was scoring almost at will in that first half to carry the Lakers offense up until he landed kind of on his tailbone pelvis area. And of course, he also had the ejection. He and Kyrie Irving went out in the third quarter, but he feels fine. Of course, here he is starting once again, and they're going to need another good offensive effort against a pretty good Knicks defense this season.
Yeah, they're going to need another great defensive effort, but they've been doing a good job on that end, and I just love the effort with Dennis Schroeder. I mean, most other players would be taking the night off after that tailbone bruise.
All right, let's see if the Lakers can follow up that big win at Brooklyn with one tonight in New York. This is the next to last game of this 7-in-a-row on the road, and the start of a back-to-back. They'll be in Charlotte tomorrow. First possession, and Andre Drummond coming off of another very impressive double-double. He pulls his way in, can't finish, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it will remain with the Lakers.
Again, Drummond has such a weight advantage against Nerlens Noel that he can play bully ball. He just can't show Noel the ball early because Noel has some good ups.
Markieff, did he reestablish himself? He did! And the basket to Kyle Kuzma.
Boy, you know, defensive lapse there by the Knicks. You never allow the guy inbounding the ball to get a layup.
Nice feed by Keith, and now it's the Knicks with an opportunity. R.J. Barrett finds so much confidence. Blocked from behind by Kuzma, saved by Kuz, but New York will take it. Now remember, only 6 on the shot clock, and now we've got a stoppage and a whistle.
Now, what a recovery by Kuz for that block shot.
Frank Vogel and the Lakers mentioned what an impressive game the other night, especially in the second half when they hit 12 out of 18 of their threes. 8 Lakers in double figures, 6 with multiple threes. They had 12 steals, 30 assists in that game. So the scrappy defense played a huge role. That's what we were talking about with Julius Randle, the expansion of this game to hit from the perimeter.
I mean, it's still remarkable to me that he is shooting 40% from behind the arc. He is so confident right now that he is making the defenders play him real honest.
They beat Toronto last night. They ended a 9-game losing streak to the Raptors. This is the tail end of a 3-game homestand. Drummond having trouble with it. And the Knicks, who are one of the top defensive teams in the league, right now rated number 4 in the NBA, come up with a steal.
Yeah, he didn't wait for Barrett to clear the area before he put it on the floor.
What a very trim-looking Julius Randle hits the 18-footer.
When he came into the league, Julius Randle, all he did was put it down and try to get to the paint.
Markieff answers right back, yes, sir.
That's one.
And we are tied at 5. I love it when you count it down. We're not even 2 minutes into the game. Going baseline all the way. That's a quick move that time by Payton.
Nice little change of direction, crossover, and gets an uncontested layup there.
Schroeder, 19 before the ejection. KCP. And they battle underneath, and the rebound's going to be taken by Noel. Quickly front court. Baird all the way. That's going to be taken away. Kuz again. His second great defensive play at the other end. Keith scores.
Wow, that guy, there was no whistle on that play. It looked like Markieff may have been going to the line for an and one.
Yeah, Nerlens Noel with the challenge. The big fella had 4 blocks last night. Here's a lean in by Bullock. Going to come up short. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Of course, the magic of playing in the Garden. There are fans, not many of them, but just as special being in MSG. About 2,000 fans. That's going to be a travel. Or on the sideline.
Either that or Kentavious Caldwell-Pope stepped on the sideline as he was pushing off to go to the rim.
Well, there's Tibbs, Stu, and you know he's going to demand the most out of his team.
Especially on the defensive end.
Yep, and that's why they're first in scoring defense, first in field goal percentage defense, and first in three-point percentage defense.
Quick foul there as it looks like Markieff headed to the sideline.
And Wesley Matthews is available tonight, obviously, and here he is into the game. So our first substitution with just under 3 minutes, or not even 3 minutes gone. He's going back to the locker room.
Well, hopefully nothing serious. The Lakers, again, continuing to have players out with injury.
Here's an up and under, and the rebound's going to be taken by Drummond. Last 3 years has led the NBA in rebounds.